Happy New Year 2025. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin. I'm an author, speaker, and YouTuber, and welcome to my channel. I'm the author of 11 published books, including The Empowered Divine Feminine, Becoming an Unstoppable Woman in the 21st Century and Beyond. I am here with my writers Tumblr. I'm here with my pals over to this side. I am here with this Dandelion Caramel Nut Tea by Ticino. I'm here to talk about the new year, fresh start, and this day will get better. If you want to find out why my day is going to get better, please do stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do tarot and astrology readings, especially I can do the year ahead for you. You can book that on my website, michellefondinauthor.com. Welcome to the Michelle Fondin Author vlog, where I teach you about self-actualization and self-realization, personal power, and self-empowerment. Now, the phrase for my channel for this year, 2025, is exploring your inner world. All the themes will be around exploring your inner world. And therefore, I'll be teaching more meditation. I will not have ads in the middle of my videos, and I'm gonna explain why. No ads, no more in the middle of my videos, any of my videos. So it might take me a while to backtrack. I have almost 2,000 video uploads to my channel, so I can't guarantee it's gonna get done this year, but little by little, I will be removing mid-ads for all of my videos. I'm going to explain that and how you can help. Here we are in 2025, and I will tell you, I have channel news, I have updates on what's upcoming, but I really wanna talk about fresh starts. I wanna talk about fresh starts and why today is going to get better for me. And for that, I'm going to need to take a sip of my detox tea. Again, I wish I could rewind, right? I've been taking a couple week hiatus from long form videos on YouTube. I know some of you have noticed. Some of you may not have noticed at all. I've been in the thick of finishing my latest book that will be released on March 20th of 2025, which is entitled The 8 Limbs of Yoga for Modern Times, a practical guide to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So for those of you who practice yoga in any way, shape, or form, for those of you who meditate in any way, shape, or form, this is a great guide into the philosophy of yoga and how to reach enlightenment. So I've been working in earnest on that book. I'm in the editing process of the book, which takes time, right? It takes time, once you write that first draft, it takes a lot of weeks in order to go through the edits. And then I had family in town for many weeks. And as some of you know who have had family staying with you in town, it makes it a little challenging to do work, like traditional work, especially if you work from home. For me, that's absolutely positively that case. And thirdly, but not last, I've been really reflecting on my message, on what I want to do as far as content is concerned for 2025. And so taking a step back for a couple of weeks really has helped me realign with what this year's theme is. And it's really exploring your inner world for you guys, for me, for you guys. It's exploring your inner world. And to that end, I am going to be teaching a whole heck of a lot more of my meditation course in 2025. I'll be marketing it more, and I will have more courses. Whether you're inclined to take a live course with me in person in Huntington Beach, California, whether you are a person who would like to take a Zoom course with me along with my online course, kind of like in tandem with my online course, or whether you would like to simply just do the online course that I have up on my website currently. So any of those three, but in order to really commence exploring your inner world, it's going to be super important that you meditate daily. And I do say this in every single one of my books. And in most of my YouTube videos, I talk about the power of meditation, the power of meditating. Now, to that end, I'm going to be doing a free webinar. I don't have the sign up yet. I will be posting the sign up for the free webinar that's going to introduce the Zoom class that is starting on January 26th of 2025. That is the online course with Zoom sessions to learn meditation, to get your mantra, to have the meditation practice integrated into your being. And you can sign up for that meditation course. It's already online on my meditation page on my website. You can already sign up without the webinar. You don't need the webinar to sign up. But for those of you that are hesitant, that are a little skeptical about meditation and whether or not you really need a course, I'm going to be having that webinar. Now, it's previewed right now for January 9th. I may push it to the following Monday. I haven't decided completely yet. I know it's really challenging for those of you in different time zones, but right now that webinar is going to be on January 9th, which is a Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I will have the sign up link very soon. I promise you, probably tomorrow if you're viewing this on January 1st of 2025. All the content is going to be really centered around exploring your inner world. And my book, The 8 Limbs of Yoga for Modern Times, is really pointed toward that because that's the whole point and purpose of the 8 Limbs of Yoga. So there you go. And even The Empowered Divine Feminine, this book, the last book I wrote in the series of books that I've written, is the self-exploration in order to increase your self-awareness, self-esteem, self-empowerment, especially if you are of the female type. So there you go. So I woke up this morning at 5:22 a.m. to the intense meowing sounds of this cat right here. I'll post her little baby picture. Her name is Mocha. That is my second cat. I know a lot of you have seen Luna, my other cat. Luna has a baby sister who is now a teenage cat. She is about 4.5 months old, and she is wreaking havoc. So on January 1st, she woke me up at 5:22 a.m. with her persistent meowing, and it would not stop. So I had to wake up at 5:22. And I was already thinking about this video and what I was going to talk about. And I was really talking about fresh starts. Like that was the theme for this video. Fresh starts. And the theme for this video was not only fresh starts, but the theme for this video was going to be, you can start fresh anytime, any day, any place, anywhere. It doesn't have to be January 1st. Now for me, I really like start dates. I like January 1st because it sort of turns the page. And a lot of people look at it as January 1st of a new year turns the page. And it just means we can start a new chapter. We can start a new phase. We can start a new habit, diet, life, whatever. What I've come to learn in my many years is that a fresh start can come in the next moment. It doesn't have to wait for a new year or a new month or a new moon phase even. You can really start in the next moment. You don't have to keep momentum with something that you don't want to be doing, whether it be a bad habit or a bad day. So 5:22 a.m. was when I was awakened by the persistent meowing of my teenage cat. And I got up, got the other cat up, was brushing my teeth, came downstairs, and about 2 minutes after I came downstairs with both cats trying to prepare their food because, I'm a nice cat mom. I'm going to prepare their food first, mostly for the baby, because the baby, then I can put her up in her room and get her out of the way while I'm doing the dishes. The baby cat leapt up onto a table in the dining room and leapt right into a plant stand, knocking down the plants and the stand and the dirt. And that was the start of my day after the 5:22 a.m. wake-up call. So the first part of my day was cleaning up dirt all over the floor with this cat that had just created such chaos for me. And cleaned it up, got the cats fed, got my coffee, started my day, promptly went to the gym without taking my purse, got halfway to the gym, realized there was no purse, which meant there was no headphones or driver's license, turned around, drove all the way home, got the purse, drove back to the gym, got on the gym, started my run. Yes, run, because I'm starting a detox today of all the sugars and fats and fried foods and sugars and sugars and sugars and cookies and sugars and sugars that I spent 6 weeks eating, because my holiday season starts with my son's birthday on November 22nd and rolls into Thanksgiving, then my birthday, then all of December. And therefore, it's more like 6 weeks of eating. So I am starting a new detox diet, if you will. I was on the treadmill running and my treadmill kept glitching. It would just pause for no apparent reason. When I tried to restart it from pausing, 5-10 minutes later, it would pause again. So got on the treadmill paused and kept pausing. And it was at that moment that I had one of those moments of, this day so far, new year, things not so working out for me when things usually work out for me. So I made the decision that this was going to be a fresh start, starting with this video. Fresh start for my day, a reset for my day, because I really don't want to continue my day in that way. I would like to continue my day in a smoother fashion. A way I decided I could do this was obviously getting in touch with my higher being, my higher self, my inner being, and to say, I am going to improve things from here. It is not my intention to do things like stub my toe or trip over my feet, which kind of also happened today. And I'm going to start afresh, but from a place of alignment with my higher self. In order to do that, I needed to slow down. Now, obviously, the cat knocking the plants over, I don't know if that had something to do with my energy or not. It had something to do with cat being super curious about getting into the plant, perhaps. But I decided this day is going to change. This day is going to be different from now forward. It's not going to roll out in the same way that it has been. So a lot of times we can get into this mindset that if we have a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, that things are not going to get better until a milestone, until we get momentum going with another thing at another time. And I'm inclined to say that we can always change in the next moment. We don't need to let the first half of a day that hasn't been going exactly according to plan to continue that way throughout the rest of the day. And that's not my intention. My intention is to continue this day and have a fabulous day and a wonderful day and an amazing day. And that is what I intend to do. I like fresh starts, as I mentioned. I kind of do like the idea of the first of the year, setting intentions. Now, I set intentions all year long. I don't just set intentions on the first of the year. I tend to set them periodically, daily, if that, monthly, weekly. And I really look at those intentions as focal points. In yoga, there's a word for focal point, and it's called drishti. And a drishti is a focal point that you look at when you're balancing. If you've ever practiced yoga, there's a lot of balancing postures in yoga. And staring at that point, and in ballet, it's the same thing. In ballet, when you spin, and some of you know I spent many, many years practicing ballet. But when you are turning a pirouette, for example, or a fouette, you have a focal point. Otherwise, you will get dizzy and fall over. So same thing in yoga, you have a drishti, a focal point, and your intention setting or how you intend to have your day be, even if it starts out poorly, you have that focal point, that set point of this is where I intend to go. And when you have that intention in mind, you can refocus and recalibrate at any time you wish. All too often in the beginning of the year, we set our New Year's resolutions, our intentions, and we lose momentum after a day or two or a week or two. We tend to lose momentum and then we go back to old habits that we've been trying to change. It's best if we don't look at it as something that we absolutely positively have to change right now by doing the polar opposite. Usually, it works better with gaining momentum starting from the point at which you are at and slowly changing things rather than instantly taking the polar opposite position. For me, as far as going through like a detox diet, this is something that I do periodically anyway. So anyway, I will halfway through the month, I will decide, okay, Monday through Friday, I'm doing a detox diet. I'm just going to focus on not eating sugar, for example, not really doing desserts. I will be able to do that for 5 days straight. And I do this pretty regularly. So for me, it's not such a far cry to say I've been eating for 6 weeks, all this sugar and fat in fried foods and whatnot, and then just going, okay, I'm going to just throw it all away, which I did, throw it all away and just start fresh and not have that kind of stuff around the house or not have that kind of stuff near me and not eat it. For me, that's not a huge jump because it's something I do anyway. But if you are a person who, for example, has never exercised a day in your life, or it's been 5 to 10 years since you've exercised, and you decide on January 1st, I'm going to exercise every single day for the whole month of January, that is just pushing yourself a little too far. And that's when people tend to snap back into old habits because they've set a goal that's so far out of their reach that when they start to do it, they get really fatigued and they get frustrated and they get sore and they just want to sleep. So it doesn't have to be exercise and it doesn't have to be diet. It could be many, 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 many various goals that we tend to have, many intentions we tend to set, but just know that in every moment, you can always have a new set point. And your set point doesn't have to go back to where you were either. So when you have your set point, your focal point, then you can just keep moving forward. And so that's what I said about my day is like, there's no rhyme or reason as to why this day turned out the way it did in the beginning. I can kind of look back into some of the stress points that I had over the past few weeks, having family around in my house, in my space. While I enjoy visits with family, and family is certainly extremely important to me, I did lose my sense of routine. When I lose my sense of routine, I tend to lose my sense of balance. I really enjoy routine. I'm a very routine person. And when I get out of routine, it does pull me out of balance. So is it perhaps because I had been out of routine that then I got out of balance, which then produced this day that didn't go exactly according to plan? This was really my first day away from family, if you will, in like 4 to 6 weeks. So it had been quite some time since I had had my regular routine started, which, got started a bit early with the cat. So when we think about this refreshing new start on our inner journey, yes, January 1st is a fantastic day to be thinking about these things. Yes, January 1st is a fantastic day to be setting your goals, your intentions, and even your New Year's resolutions. It's a great day to do things like cleaning your house, purging, and detoxing your house, for example, getting bags together for charity. One thing that I like to do in January is to buy new clothes. So for example, I'll buy new socks, new underwear, and it refreshes things for the upcoming year. And I think the reminder is that when things don't go according to your goals, your intentions, your New Year's resolutions, to not look at it as a failure, like I failed, I always do this. Why do I do this? Why do I go back to my old ways? But to look at it as this is just one step forward into gaining momentum in my new direction. Talking about ballet, it does remind me of how much we had to practice for the Nutcracker, for example. I danced in the Nutcracker Ballet for 5 years when I was younger for Dance Detroit and the Detroit Symphony Orchestra that was playing for the ballet. And we started rehearsing for the Nutcracker Ballet that took place in December. Really, I believe it was like 10 days around Christmas week. We started practicing in September of that year for this 1.5 to 2 hour ballet. And we would repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. So it wasn't as if we were rehearsing for this role in the Nutcracker, for example. Oftentimes the dance was like 3 minutes long? And it wasn't as if we were rehearsing for this dance that was 3 minutes long and saying each time we rehearsed, oh, I failed at this. No, it's like, okay, if you fall, do it again. If you misstep, do it again. If you're off center where you're supposed to be, you do it again. You keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And it's the same thing with athletes. They don't sit there through practices and repetition and rehearsals and go, you're failing, you're failing, you're failing if you miss a basket or miss a hole in one or whatever the case may be. It's just, that that's part of the process. Part of the process of getting to your goal is repetition. So if you look at your New Year's resolutions as, I'm going to repeat this action until it becomes second nature, then you don't think of it as a failure. Because often when we think of our actions as failures, we don't offer ourselves a fresh start. We just stop in our tracks and go back to our old ways. So let's look at it as this is just rehearsal. It's just rehearsal. It's no big deal. It's just rehearsal. And because it's rehearsal, I can offer myself a fresh start in any moment of any day. As long as I have my focal point, as long as I have my drishti. And as I have my drishti, I have my focal point, I have my outcome, I can have as many missteps as I want to because it's only rehearsal. And each time you rehearse, you get yourself closer to that number, right? The number, the performance, and the applause, which all performers want. They all want the applause. So when you look at it that way, it makes it a lot easier for you as you're setting your goals and intentions, and for myself included, right? I will tell you, there have been so many things that I've failed at, so many missteps, so many times that I have fallen, and many, many, many goals that I have not reached or have fallen short of reaching. There have been so many, but along the way, I reached other goals that maybe I wasn't intending to reach. And so when you keep going with it, you keep rehearsing, you will see improvement in anything that you're doing. So don't berate yourself because on January 15th, you've given up on your New Year's resolutions or your intentions or your goals. Just go back to, if it was important to you, go back to it and just say, I keep rehearsing until I get it. I'm going to keep rehearsing until it becomes second nature. Because that's how dancers, going back to the ballet analogy, that's how dancers make it look easy. If you have ever danced ballet, it is not easy at all. It is really, really difficult. Every minute movement, even from a plie in ballet, is extremely challenging. It's a challenging move. It's not like you're doing nothing, but if you've seen a principal dancer on a stage dancing in point shoes, or even a male dancer leaping into the air and doing twists in the air, they make it look effortless. And the reason they make it look effortless to the audience member is because they've rehearsed so much to make it look effortless. But it is absolutely positively not effortless in any way, shape, or form. It's just that they've trained their bodies to make it look effortless. So there you go. That's my primer on success. No, that's my primer on fresh starts, not giving up and giving yourself a fresh start, even halfway through the day. Even when your cat knocks down a bunch of plants and spreads dirt all over the floor and then tries to get in it. Even when that happens. So announcements for upcoming stuff, guys. So I'm still doing the Twin Flame group tarot readings on Tuesdays at 5. I don't know how long that's going to continue. I'll do it through January and we'll see how it goes. So you can sign up for that if you send me $20 via PayPal by 4 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays. The call is at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Secondarily, I will be doing my chat with the author at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays, every Monday. So please join me. Please, please, please. Let's talk about mid-ads. In the 2 weeks I spent watching my favorite YouTubers throughout the time that I was not making videos, I noticed a few things. YouTube is always changing, right? YouTube is always changing. They've made it relatively hard for mid-level YouTubers, if you will, to make money through AdSense. It's been lowered a lot. I think the only way you can actually make any type of money is by having mid-ads and by having more than one mid-ad. So what I noticed from some of my favorite YouTubers is that the videos were very, very, very interrupted by a lot of mid-ads. And as a user, as a viewer, this was really annoying to me. And in fact, it was so annoying that for many of the videos, I turned them off after a few minutes because it was like the YouTuber would be on camera for about 2 to 3 minutes and then there would be an ad, 2 to 3 minutes and an ad, 2 to 3 minutes and an ad. And that's too interruptive. It's too disruptive to the process of the information that you're trying to attain, or even the entertainment value of what you're trying to attain. So I made the decision that as a user, that's extremely unpleasant. And furthermore, if my messages for this year are exploring your inner world, then the intention of the message is going to be with the emotion and energy and vibration of the message as well. And in order for you to feel the emotion, energy, and vibration of the messages that I'm putting out in 2025, and even before, but if you're going to feel all of that, it can't be interrupted by ads. So in order to compensate, if there is a video in 2025 or even before that really touches you, then donate via SuperThanks. There's a button below every video and it says give via SuperThanks. And you could give $1 or $2 to just say thank you to me. I'll probably get 50% of that, which is like 50 cents if you give $1. But it's something to compensate for not having mid-ads in the videos anymore. So if something touches you, give me a super thanks. Other than that, I'm gonna try really hard to only have the ads be before and after the videos. Now, I cannot vouch for the 1,770 videos I've had before. That's a lot of videos to go one by one by one and to take out the mid-ads. But I'm going to try to look at the most viewed videos and at least take out the mid-ads on those videos. So you can have an increased user experience and hopefully just have better appreciation for the messages that I am giving on this channel. And finally, I spoke about the meditation course with Zoom calls with me that is happening starting January 26th of 2025. You can sign up for that on my website on the meditation page. You get the course. You're going to get the actual online course, but you will have bonus Zoom calls with me each week of that course. So that way you can ask your questions. You can ask questions to other users. You can ask questions to the other students in the class. But it's a really good way to have that flavor and that interaction when you're learning something skilled like meditation. And yes, meditation is a skill that you learn. So I want to say happy 2025 once again. I hope this is a fabulous year for you. I know it will be for me. Set your intentions, set your goals, and I look forward to interacting with you throughout the year of 2025. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. Thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with others who are into self-actualization and self-empowerment. Thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can buy one of my 11 published books. You could book a reading with me. You could book your meditation course, and I will see you in the next video.